Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Just Booling. And I know I turned my camera on purpose because I was jamming. I didn't take a too deep. That's probably one of the biggest pulls I ever took. Wow, hold on. I probably shouldn't have done that. All right. Hold on. I got to mute myself for like 2 seconds. All right. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Just Booling. We have some special guests joining us today. We have Penguin returning. This is her second episode, and joining us for her very first episode is Lucy. Welcome in.
Thank you.
Happy to have the both of you.
Yeah, we really are. And I was gonna say this before, but I figured the best. And Wanda and Penguin got into it earlier, almost spoil some content. But anyway, I figure, for as far as I'm concerned, that anyone listening to the podcast, they previously listened to the episode. So this is, we don't need to super rehash and super go into every little detail of the season. But so what we wanted to do, since everyone knows our opinion of and what we thought, is we wanted to pick both of your brains and let each of you tell us your thoughts of like different seasons or whatever. What just try to keep it like your thoughts on like the major things. Season 1, them coming and stuff like that. Season 2 with the bus and those people showing up and pregnancy, stuff like that. But we were really interested, and that's why we invited you guys on to talk to us about what you love and fucking hate about From.
That's
what, I know that's
what
things
he brought y'all on for. I brought y'all on to see if anybody else was pissed off about the fact they won't just fucking talk to these motherfuckers.
I mean, yeah. The lack of communication is a choice. It's a choice for sure. And it is very irritating, which, going back, listening to previous episodes and stuff, I completely agree that I get that they would have to kind of change the story, I suppose, if they talked too much to each other. But it was to the point of just complete irritation a lot of times because you're all together, you're all going through the same thing. You've seen different things, but no one's coming together to just sit and map everything out, which is crazy.
Yeah.
All right. So I like spin wheels. So off camera, I'm gonna spin a wheel, and then that's gonna determine. I let a spin wheel determine my entire life for the most part. I used to do the spin wheel had to pick something twice for me to do it, but Wanda broke me of that. The other day we were picking shows, and he won't about to sit there and let me spin for 15 minutes to get 2 shows. So I just went on and picked the first one. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. So all right, I'm spinning now and see who's gonna. All right, Penguin. All right.
What?
You won. You get to go first.
About what though?
About we want to hear your thoughts of one, the show as a whole concept, what you thought compared to like other shows that you've watched. Your thoughts on we talked about communication, but as well like the story and stuff like that. What you like, what you didn't like.
Yeah, the general writing, characterization, like just in general.
And we got no time limit because we adults.
So I went into it not knowing what it was about, but willing to give it a try. Was not hooked right away, not gonna lie. I was skeptical, not about the plot, but about, I guess, overall, one thing that can ruin a show for me is horrible acting. So I was curious to see how they were going to do this and how bad it was going to be, how poorly it was going to be done. But the first episode, I was like, okay, some rough spots here and there, but my interest is piqued. I want to see what this is about, what the hell's going on here, and I'm willing to give it another episode to see if I can do this. And then I was instantly hooked by episode 2, and I needed to know what was going on because the thinker in me, I need to be trying to piece the pieces of the puzzle together, but you can't do that. So it always keeps you guessing. So overall, would recommend.
Absolutely.
Y'all new here, so we also out of 10. What would you rate it out of 10?
Rate it out of 10. Like overall rating.
Mhm.
I'll give it a solid.
Actually, do
Huh?
by seasons.
I can't because I don't remember.
Oh.
I watched it all at once.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll help
no,
you real quick. All right,
Okay.
season 1, initial the family comes in.
Mhm.
They have to explain what's going on with the town. They lose a couple people. The box. Shit, I literally was right. But Sarah kills and almost kills Ethan. She gets hidden away by Father Kotri. Father Kotri dies. Fucking Kevin lets the people into the one house, to Colony House, and gets them killed. And then the bus comes in.
That was all season 1.
Yeah.
Season 1. Well, I can't rate it without knowing what the other seasons did.
Okay. Season 2 was Boyd getting caught in the chimney thing. Was it?
Okay.
in the tower.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, him getting caught in the chimney thing. Him having the worms or something in the music box. They killed one of the dudes, and then was it cicadas?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Whatever the bugs were, those
Okay.
went out and attacked everyone.
They were cicadas because Nathaniel was scared of him as a kid.
That's right. Because they the forest feeds on horror. They said. Oh,
Mhm.
Marissa, Julie, and Randall get
Right.
caught up.
Mind abducted.
That's right. And the dude smashes the box, and Tabitha goes back to real world.
Okay. And 3.
Season 3, Tabitha and Victor's dad comes back. They Fatima's pregnant, and she's going through some things. Elgin kidnaps her. While they're doing that, they find food in another village, but they also Tabitha realize. Am I skipping? They find food, bring food back. Tabitha realizes that she's connected to the place and being reincarnated. They come back through. And then Fatima gives birth to the smiling
Demon
creature.
Ooh, okay. So rating by season, I would give season 1 a 6. Season 2 was a 7.5 for me. That was my favorite season. And season 3 was 6.5.
Okay.
That's fair.
Final thoughts? What you you say would recommend. That was your final version. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Would recommend. Yeah. Would recommend, and give it at least 2 episodes before you decide if you're gonna watch it or not. If you're on the fence, it's worth it.
All right. Lucy.
So I'm not gonna lie to you. There were a couple of times where I was like, wanted to drop it just because it was pissing me off a lot. And but also I really was kind of invested the same to kind of figure out what angle the show was going to go with. So at first I really thought maybe it was some sort of simulation, a game, especially with the mention of like the questing and stuff. So I thought, well, maybe this is like some twisted RPG type horror situation that they're in. But overall I did enjoy it. I absolutely loved Harold Perrineau.
Yes.
Because
Is that Jacob?
That's Boyd.
Oh, Boyd. Okay.
Because he was Mercutio in
Yep.
Romeo and Juliet, and I've loved him since then. But I haven't seen anything with him in it in a very long time, so it was nice to see him back, kind of on screen and everything. But overall, season 1 overall rating, I will say I'd probably give it like a 6.5. Only because I feel like they did a decent job with kind of laying down the foundation, even though it was still really confusing by the time season 1 ended. Season 2, agree with Penguin that it is probably my favorite season out of the 3. So it'll probably get us like 7.5. And then season 3, I feel like season 3 just it irritated me because they just did so much crazy stuff that to me didn't make sense to a certain extent. And the way that the story went, I was kind of like, but yeah, I'd say maybe a 6.5. But I would say if you are into the genre of show that it is, that I would give it a chance because you might actually really like it. Some of the acting is a little hit or miss, of course, with everything. But it's a decent show.
Before I forget, whoever played was Jacob the older guy with like the younger mentality? Is that his name?
Victor.
Victor. Whoever played him killed that fucking
Oh, yeah.
role, dude.
Absolutely.
Before I forget, he for me was the best actor throughout the entire series so far. He killed his role.
Yep.
Yeah. Victor
And-
definitely
Yeah, I don't
hit
know
it.
who he is or where he came from, but if you look at YouTube videos of him, he's just a normal dude, but you would never know it.
Motherfucking Scott McCord, baby.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. When they left Colony House and Julie came back and he didn't, I was upset for a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh.
Also, upping it on Randall. That shit was hilarious.
Yeah. I mean, which wasn't the first. That wasn't the first time that he did that, right?
No, it was I think it was the second time.
Yeah, because I remember that being a thing previously in one of the earlier episodes.
You can ask Saint. I was waiting. I was praying for him to pop Randall. I was praying for it.
I think this next thing that we do is going to be fun for all of us to get our frustrations out. So it's gonna be dope. All right, let's see. So, what I have for everyone is nice, handy. Wait. What's this here at the top? Create a from. I do know what I'm doing. I promise.
That's what they all say.
All right. One of the things I invited all of you for, because you are the 3 people whose opinions I value the most. We're gonna do tier ranking for all of the major characters of From. I have a list. Let me get this list out.
Okay, let's get into it.
Is there anything lower than a D? Because let's
name that as the Kevin route. We'll call that the Kevin tier.
Let me.
No, sorry, the Dale tier. Yeah.
Right, because that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah. If there's an S tier, there has to be a Dale tier.
Trash tier. It's gotta be.
Well, the same is what I said, isn't it?
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing. Lee.
I mean, we can keep it on D because I mean, I feel like S through D is sufficient. Maybe. Oh, we got extra room.
All right.
The garbage.
Ooh. Yeah. Damn.
Wait, hold damn. Did I save it? Y'all saw me do it, right?
I don't know if it's saved or not.
Show extra rows. Kevin
Dale. Can you drag him up? Ooh, go back to the size real quick. I think that's what it is. Instead of a square, do the rectangle.
Oh.
Well, that's for the pictures.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Image cropping. What do I press? Enter? No. I'm gonna try this one more time, and then I'm just gonna say fuck it, and then
okay.
They just won't get fucking anything because they fucking suck.
Hit submit real quick.
Submit with a label. Submit.
Yeah. Now go to the side right here and hit those arrows on the bottom. Not do anything?
I just moved D.
Oh, it just moves them around.
I got you.
Okay.
Got you.
Well, it says D is the lowest we can go. So,
Lame.
c'est la vie.
It
That's
is
just the way it goes. That's life. Robbie
motherfucker
Noble.
technology. All right. Anyway, okay. So yeah, it is. So we all agree, and we'll start with those motherfuckers and get them out of the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just let it be what it'll be.
So-
I'm gonna
so
put
we're-
them here at the end
hold
because
on.
that's where they're gonna stay the whole
Hold on,
fucking time.
Saint. I feel like we should establish a baseline. So Kevin and Dale are D tier, and Victor and Ethan are obviously S tier. Can we all agree on that?
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
cool.
Do
that's
okay.
That's
We
our
want to just go
baseline.
ahead and move them.
Yeah,
Okay. All right. So Ethan, Victor, S tier to start. Dale, where's fucking Kevin? Where's it? There. All right. And so what we'll do, okay, so that being our baseline. So what we'll explain to the audience is this. Obviously, D is the lowest, and we're gonna consider D as we almost because we're gonna have to put some people there maybe that we don't feel exactly the way that we feel about these two.
we'll say this. D for those two is the absolute highest they can get.
Yeah.
And what are we ranking them on?
Merit what they've done, how they helped or didn't help. Our thoughts on them. Even if we just didn't like the motherfuckers, what we
Okay.
did. And then we'll take the general consistency of the group, 3 out of 4.
Yeah.
Again, we're gonna start explaining our baseline with the characters. D, and for the 2 characters at the bottom, we're gonna literally consider them non-existent. So people after them just they meh. But these 2
Yeah.
motherfuckers, man, Dale, he ran his mouth the entire time, and at any point in time, like he should have been put outside. He
Yeah.
stabbed somebody. He talking shit to everybody. Been just weird and just big and all kinds of shit like that. And he honestly got what was coming to him. Thoughts?
The best. Glorious. I was so excited when I saw it. Good fucking riddance because it didn't happen soon enough for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm still
Same.
trying to figure out how he went from Donna being like, I've got him locked away, everything's under control, to him going on fucking field trips to help pick up vegetables and stuff. I mean, I get it if they needed the manpower, but he should have never left that room.
There's so
I
many
wanna
other
say that's
people
what
in
it
Colony
was.
House.
Because like what, even though he did stab and almost kill Ellis, it was a complete accident. Like he definitely did not mean to stab him like that. Like it
Even though
So
he did.
his reaction though, which I mean, I guess everybody reacts to stuff like that differently, but like he was just like, oh shit. No, like, I'm sorry, can I help?
Well, I mean,
Anything.
yeah, nobody accused him of being emotionally intelligent.
Right.
I was telling Saint when we first started watching, like, if this were and this is what me and Saint do, we always think about like if we were in the scenario, which is why I fucking feel you, Lucy, when you say that you almost quit the show a couple times, because brother, communication, ooh, but in particular him, me and Saint were talking. If me and Saint were in this, that motherfucker will be gone day one, either when we show up or if we're in charge as soon as he becomes a problem, because that dissent shit he's always fomenting, like always just backhanded talking and shit like that, that's more detrimental than Randall is.
Yeah. Because at
Like,
least Randall has some sense
yeah,
at the end of the day.
but like fucking Dale had just enough charisma to get people to listen to him. Like he was a likable dude when he wanted to be. He was just a complete dickhead and completely selfish. And it unfortunately what's crazy about his character is I understand exactly how they wrote his character. His character is one of the few that I think is one of the best written in the series, because that's a normal dude.
Yeah.
That is a normal fucking dude. And unfortunately, in these kind of situations, you got to get rid of those dudes. And nobody wants to say anything like say like that kind of thing. Nobody wants to admit to it. But yeah, you got to get rid of motherfuckers like that. And the only reason I think he stayed around so long is because it is a TV show.
Yeah.
Because I
And
feel like
they weren't outright killing anyone for dumb
Yeah.
shit. And
yeah,
again, you said what happened with Ellis was an accident, so we get, you know, that part. But all the other shit, all that when it happened with the food, and he was like leading the charge,
yeah,
basically getting those people to rile up to go
yeah.
fuck and go get the food, like all that stuff, like it's crazy, like that stuff when
And he really was the ringleader for that shit too.
yeah. In the real world, you can't help but deal with those type of that normal like fuck you type dude. But then, like, we had to amend the rules. Like, if you're not part of the group, you got to find something else. You have a shack and a talisman. There you go.
Yep.
Yeah. You make your own way if you can't fucking be a part. Shit.
I
Um,
mean,
And
that's what they did with the dude in the bus.
Yep.
yeah,
exactly. I can't wait to talk about that motherfucker.
and
Can't wait.
Kevin, we can all just agree that
Fuck
Kevin was just down
Kevin.
bad. Like
Yeah.
fuck you, dude. Like I don't give a damn if she was cute. Like motherfucker, you have watched these things. Like it made no sense. But at the same time, that dude's real too.
But we also know that, not necessarily at that point, but find out later that they use tactics.
Yeah, they can
So,
talk and shit. Yeah. So we don't
so,
exactly know how he was. Yeah.
so instead of taunting like they typically do, hey, come outside, you'll feel better. She was probably like, which I don't even know how she picked up. It would have been interesting to see how that started.
Yeah, I feel like
thought
that was
about
a
it with
failed
the
writing.
flowers. I'm like, first off, and we called it okay. What's he doing with the flowers? And then it's like no one hears him in the bathroom talking in the middle of the night.
When there's
No
so
one.
many people.
And
To be
they make it known as people who do walk and do watch and make sure things are happening. You know, people are sleep and shit like that. So no one hears him in the bathroom chit chatting.
to
Not
be
one person.
fair, I think it was down to the writing because the way they introduce him is weird too. Because the first thing I think we see of him is not even him; it's the flowers he's leaving around. Because Julie finds them. They mention, oh, your secret admirer strikes again or whatever. But obviously, he's been doing this for a while. And then the next time they drop the storyline completely. Except I think Julie gets flowers one more time, and then the next time we see anything about it, he's up in the window talking to old girl, and it's very quick. Like there's no story has been told.
Yeah.
Basically,
It was a
like
very random little, plot device.
yeah, it's like they told us they were gonna tell us a joke, and then like said knock knock, and then spoiled the who's there.
Yeah. That's accurate.
Like yeah, and I feel like they relied on her getting inside, and then the other creatures like coming in to basically ride off of like shock value. Like let's move on to the next scene
Yeah.
because that storyline was very much rushed. And if this is a play if this is a play or a book series, then they definitely glossed over that.
Nah, this is straight to TV from that
Straight
dude's
to TV?
brain.
Okay, word.
So that's our baseline for fuck you characters. D, we'll figure out a D. I got a D coming up that everyone will agree, but we'll start and we'll do our baseline for S. Ethan's cool kid. He did kid shit, and he when and I was even for the most part, season 1 and 2, Ethan was by the book. He did what he was told. He stayed out of the way. I was upset with Ethan for going outside as many times as he did, but at the same time, he's a kid and his impulse, and I understood to a degree.
Yeah.
So, and he ain't really doing anything bad. He's cool. Boy in white. Victor's cool with him. So if Victor cool with him, I'm cool with him. So
Yeah, all my homies fuck with Victor, so yeah. But it's as far as I feel with Ethan, like number one, the actor is golden. I didn't know until we started watching that. This kid is actually the voice of the little spider Lucas that started off on like YouTube and TikTok and became an animated TV show. I used to love these videos when I used to work two jobs at the same time. Um, I would be on my phone a lot during break, and I started like watching. I love spiders, and I thought they were adorable. And then find out this kid, who is an amazing actor, brings that same kind of energy. Like it's one thing to be a kid on screen and like obviously be authentic, and it's another to enhance that experience in a way that translates well into acting. Other than a couple hiccups here and there when the writing obviously calls for him to do something outside of the established
Yeah,
like
it
character,
yeah.
he's good. He's solid.
I think
Like, go ahead.
no, I was saying I think Penguin hit it earlier when and we the I feel like honestly, despite how I feel about the character as a whole, a lot of when it comes to the acting, these people did that shit.
Absolutely, absolutely. Like every
Um,
just there are a few that I would like, we could have gone with something different, but for the most part, everybody is almost perfectly cast in this. Everybody feels that's what it is. Everybody believes their characters, if that makes sense. In a lot of especially like big budget films and stuff like that now, it feels like the actors are just kind of reading the lines, going through the motions. If anybody here has watched Agatha all along, you
Nope.
get what I'm saying. Um, it's like just people just saying lines, just kind of saying whatever they're written to say. And obviously, you can see that in some of the episodes in From, but for the most part, everybody believes who the fuck they are,
yeah,
and
it's
it
not.
shows
Yeah,
because you
it's
get invested in the character so quickly. And
yeah.
motherfucking Victor.
Wait, before we move on to Victor, you guys got anything bad to say about Ethan?
I mean, he annoyed me, but that's typical little kid. You know, he
Yeah.
did a great job, but
Typical. Yeah.
he's that obnoxious. Like, stop asking so many questions and just do what the fuck I say.
Yeah,
But understand where he's coming from. You know, and I also think that he probably handled a lot of the more like horrific details and happenings
way better.
way better than the adults.
And I think he provided a perspective that we needed.
Yeah.
You know, the kid perspective when adults are so busy trying to figure out how the fuck they got there and how are they getting back. And he's like, this is a quest. This is how you handle a quest.
The
And
fucking
ultimately, he
criminal.
ended up being right. And I feel like he really brought the show home with that kid perspective.
I agree.
Hell yeah. Hell
And
yeah.
and we ain't got nothing bad to say about Victor.
No, sir.
Anyone who got
Zero.
anything to say about Victor, fuck you. And anything
Yeah.
else that you like, stop
The
listening
only
to this podcast right now. It's not
the,
for you. Go away.
the only slightly negative thing I will say, and this is in
Oh,
Victor's defense,
I was
he
kidding.
should no, he I wish they'd have let him shoot.
Oh, Randall. Oh, you
Yeah.
said that too. You
I
should-
wish they'd let him shoot.
I think if they would have let him, he wouldn't have done it anyway. So it
Yeah.
wouldn't
You're
have
right.
changed the story or the outcome.
I just need Randall to die. That's all. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, Victor. I just really want Randall to die.
All right, so that is our ranking. Obviously, S tier. Below D tier, we got Dale and Kevin wouldn't let me add more tiers because they had their own fuck you tiers. But I'm going to start with Trudy because I feel like I know where she's going.
Oh,
Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you. I ended up liking Trudy. She was kind of a nice little, almost comic relief to a certain extent. Obviously her role wasn't really huge in the show, but it gave us just enough of like a little sparkle.
Yep.
The weirdness with the pillow, and then
it felt lifting.
borrowing people's clothes, which is a common thing in Colony House anyway, so it wasn't that crazy. But then her comment to fucking Jade.
Alabaster Dragon.
was wild. And she does really just kind of encompass that real free spirit type energy. And I think it was nice to have until we didn't have it anymore.
She, the moments with her, especially like the moments with Fatima and like them talking, even talking about her, help make the world feel lived in. If that makes
Yeah.
any sense.
Yeah.
Okay,
It
okay.
it definitely made it feel populated because, especially for the first couple episodes, giving us interpersonal conflicts that don't have to deal immediately with the danger looming over your head
Yeah.
is not only a practice that people anybody who deals with people with trauma and things like that, that's immediately one of the tactics you use. And the fact that they did that inside of the show to to basically like fluff up the pillow a little bit and that it fits so well, bravo to them.
She's a B for me.
Okay. I see. I trust y'all because y'all know I'm super generous. So,
I'm
so I
I'm
feel
gonna,
like B is nice for her.
I'm gonna let them say B. I'm gonna say A just because from Get I thought she was fine.
Okay, so she got a letter
I,
off fine.
I'm only gonna rate her a B because I felt like you guys said, it added that real, you know, vibe, I guess, because
Mhm.
I've had friends like her and they acted just like her, and it annoyed me then and it annoyed me when I watched the show. So while I feel like it probably was necessary, didn't really care for her, would probably rate her a C if it wasn't right above D. I'm gonna give her a B.
Hell
I
yeah. Okay.
I say B for her. She annoyed me at first, but I do think the conversation with Fatima changed it for me, and then
Yeah.
then I'm like, okay, they made they made me like her, then they took her away. Just like Lucy said, we don't have it anymore. So and I'm not gonna lie, and it hurt my
Thanks,
feelings
Kevin.
too. Yeah, fucking thanks, fucking Kevin.
Yes.
So
Thank you,
yeah,
Kevin.
all right. So I'm on the wrong screen. Look at me. All right, so all right, B.
B minus.
B minus.
Wait a minute now. Hey.
Let's do Nathan. He should be easy. I feel like we're gonna get the easy ones out of the way because I feel like a lot of these people are gonna be discussions. So, Nathan,
Nathan's solidly B tier, I'd say. He cared for his sister. He
enough
wasn't
to come
like,
clean,
yeah, he wasn't super weird or nothing like that. He didn't like it kind of kept to themselves. He was kind of a bland character if I'm being honest.
and he was already the only reason he was in that town was because he was saving her already.
Yep.
True. Yeah, I can do B for him. The only thing that irritates me, which I get, he was trying to protect her, but as soon as she told him what happened, he should have went to somebody. As soon as,
Yeah.
because
I
then
agree.
something could have, something could have been put in place, and he would have never
Even
died.
he would have. Yeah, he waited a little bit.
And he went
Um,
He
to the
waited till like
wrong. He went to
the
the
next
wrong
morning.
person.
Yeah, why would he go to
Yeah.
Boyd? He
or
went to
did
Father
he?
Cotter.
Yeah, that part.
Yeah, Boyd would have been the better of the two because Father Kotri was not the way to go on that.
I'm gonna give him a C. I don't feel like his character was necessary. And he could have been filled in with any one of the other extras, and the story would have played out the same way.
I'd like to change my answer. I agree with that actually.
Yeah, same. See,
Yeah,
I definitely agree with
y'all
that.
answered it for me, and that's why I love talking to y'all all together because it all makes sense. Yeah, like Minor, he should have done more, but at
he
the
made
same
little to
time,
no impact.
yeah. So our first
I mean,
C.
props to him for saving his sister, but you didn't save her the second time by telling
And the
him.
cicadas are kind of your fault now anyway. So
Yeah, that too.
Tom, bartender.
I loved Tom. I wish that I feel like his death was a waste.
same. I feel like it was like them trimming the edges.
Yeah, and to give him the Father Kotri treatment at the end of the day kind of pissed me off too, because I'm like, he could have just been there. Not that he was needed or necessary or anything, but I liked his personality, and I liked the role that he played within the story and within the town.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like the only reason they got rid of him was because they needed the bar for Jade.
Yeah. I can
You
agree
know
with
what? I never thought about it like that. Cause he did move right the fuck in, didn't
that.
he?
Yep.
Yeah. And he needed to do his, whatever he was going through in there.
Crazy man thing without Tom actually being there to interrupt Jade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Jade,
I
yeah, Jade would have never been able to move in.
would give him a B. I like his personality. It was not required, but it was nice and added to. It didn't take anything away from. I'll give him a high B. B plus.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll
B
do
for
that.
my boy Tom.
Yeah, I think Tom is a solid B. I while he didn't bring a lot, I did enjoy him when he was on screen. He and for the life of him, he tried his fucking best to make that fucking dude be quiet, man.
Yeah.
And
I'm so mad that he got killed off of that shit too. Like,
Yeah.
I'm also upset too because I feel like both of them should have went down there and been like, this is a little bit more than we bargained for, dude. This house done creaked a few times. We should all get out of here. So I blame Jim for all of that.
Oh yeah, Jim is
we
definitely responsible.
oh
that.
yeah, we'll get to him. We'll
get
yeah.
there. I didn't know her name until
Bacta?
Bacta.
Oh yeah. She got a name tag.
Yeah, it's on her name tag. Same.
I've been actually wondering when they're gonna justify her having that name.
Right.
Because
I
from a writing standpoint, the only reason I say that is because that's a weird choice to make. Like, you could have given her a regular name. If you're going to give her an exotic name that you're going to display all the time, then you got to tell us about it. Like, it has to mean something. Otherwise, you just give them a regular name. Like, she could have been named Roberta or Grace or something like that. But now it makes me think that it's like, and I hope they didn't waste that with the whole grandmother nursery rhyme thing.
I was gonna say I'm pretty sure that's pretty much where it was.
Because that is lazy as fuck.
Yep.
You can't give us Chekhov's weird name and then blow it in the next couple. Oh my god. Yeah.
I didn't like her very much. I felt like because y'all have common sense, I assume everybody else should have common sense. And so, like, it upsets me when I see people like, okay, like, let me just, explain it to me. This is what's going on or whatever. It's getting dark. Okay. Like, get back on the bus and all this other stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
It was a lot. I warmed up to her on the end. I don't want to skip too much. Well, we want to talk about. I warmed up on the end, but like I felt like I don't know. Maybe it was just for me. It was just too soon for her to rush up in there and take over that diner.
No, at least for me, I feel you're right. Her character was definitely rushed because they're the same. We talked about this previously, but they do the same thing. Weaponize excellence. She's shown as a serious, competent person. They give us the backstory that she was going to school, putting us out through school. So they set us up, strong female, don't need no man, blah, blah, whatever. But they give her no bend in her like personality until they need her to have some bend. But when she has like a part of the story that she needs to tell, which in her case was the grandmother thing. But up until that night in the in Colony House, like she was with everybody else. Actually, up until the telephone thing, the nursery rhyme, and even after that, she went up against Boyd during the town meeting when Tabitha came back. Like until the story needs her to integrate into the group and like be better, she was very much a thorn in everybody's side. She was like, you could see she was actively making plans to be like fuck them. I'm not worried about them. We're gonna figure this shit out, and I'm gonna get out of here.
I do think she's going to be bigger next season. They
I do
set her
too.
up to be bigger next season, so I'm not sure if that's going to change her character for me. Up until obviously she's great with Ethan, and when after she like apologized to Boyd, it was like look like none of that is helping. I was like, okay, she's cool, but for me, she's very D character. I don't know about you guys. Very open to opinions.
I feel like I reserve the D for the people who I hate.
I was gonna go C for her.
C for her for me as well. She was along the same lines as I forget his name, Nathan.
Yeah.
She could have been anybody else and had the same little to no impact on the story or anything. Anybody else grandmother could have told them that story. I don't feel like her character mattered.
Yep.
But wouldn't send her out to die.
I can sway a C. Yeah. Okay. Wanda?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I kind of want to put her on D, but yeah, C is good.
Let's see.
Because she's like her character is not bad. It's just like I said, it's the writing. It's when the writing wants her to be a sympathetic character, then all of a sudden she moves in. She's good with Ethan, but
Tilly's
an A.
Yeah.
A.
Wow.
I mean, I would be happy with her in S, to be honest. But Tilly,
you know what? I feel like she wasn't there quite long enough to be S. If they had written her into the rest of the story,
I would have loved it
all the way. I loved her, and I was sad to see her go. She was such a refreshing character.
Agreed.
Just lighthearted and said what the fuck she thought, and just she wasn't bad. She wasn't good. She was just her, and
she's just a person.
She had lived so long that she had earned her right to say whatever she was thinking, and
I love that.
And it was refreshing to see her in action.
I love that the edge they gave her too, because I forget what she has, but she shows up with like basically the start of a terminal illness.
Yeah.
Cancer, yeah.
And it just like because you first time you see her, she's like basically like the hippie or whatever, and then you get to like you see more of her, and I feel if she'd have lived longer, she'd have probably become like a grandmother figure.
Yep.
Like she was definitely cool. A tier for sure.
Her worldly wisdom would have been very helpful to have in further seasons.
I agree. Okay. So that Tilly was easy. This next one, I almost wanted to put her because of Tilly. I almost want to put her ass on D because she stole Tilly fucking medicine, and they don't just come across morphine like that. So my first thought when she took that first drip, I was like, you know what? That's one less dose for her. She gonna need that.
I felt bad, but I feel justified as well because I kept it to myself, but I wrote it down in the notes for the first episode we talked about From. The first time I saw her, I thought she was a junkie. She looked
same.
Like
I had the same reaction. That was the first thing I said about her was junkie, heroin addict.
Yep.
One and two, they cast her way too old.
Yes. I was just about to say that.
That bothered me the entire time, and I know that there are couples in real life who are blah blah whatever. No, not with that girl. Not with that girl. They don't.
Yeah. And the fact also that Christy, when she met her, and I get it, people can go through recovery, and that's fantastic and stuff. But I feel like just putting kind of that burden on her, which she put on herself at the end of the day. But no. Definitely a D for Marielle.
Yeah.
Not fucking with her.
Yeah, I agree. Get rid of her. Goodbye.
She's been helpful to a certain extent, but no.
Nah, she hasn't pulled any kind of weight that
matters.
that the other girl couldn't carry without her.
She's a great assistant, but others.
But so is Ethan,
Yep. The boy was out there knocking out dishes like a pro.
Ethan,
you know what I'm saying?
And Ethan's got the Cromonocle, so
that's right.
The damn Cromonocle. Oh, okay. Let's say, yeah. So she was easy. D is fine. I would absolutely 100% put her. I feel like the next one, oh, this will be easy. I'm gonna go with Henry, and I've been waiting for Henry.
Henry's a C for me.
Henry, Henry's
Henry
Victor's dad.
might be almost a
Victor's
D
dad.
for me. Yeah. I mean,
Henry,
it was important for backstory, but
I
Purely
and
because I like him and like the way he showed up, I give him A tier.
really? Hmm.
explain,
Simply
please.
because
Demanded.
yes, they Tabitha had to work through making him believe. But at the same time, we've established that the show has a horrible way of summoning him out. What's your point? Like they just will not fucking get to the point. So I blame that on them. But the actor himself, um, the way he portrays Henry trying to like tentatively trying to reconnect with Victor and like dealing with the fact that like this dude is a grown man, an old man. Like he is, which granted that some of that is down to their casting of Scott McCord, which love him to death, but he's a little old to be Victor. Um, but you've
A
got
little
a
old.
old, you've got a middle-aged son now that you haven't seen since the fucking 70s. Like, how weird is that to have to fucking reconnect? Also, the fact that place has made Victor fucking strange. Like, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure he was on on the spectrum before they showed up, but how much does isolation have to do to you?
And I think that him aging the way that he has, him looking so much older, I think
It
has to do also with the environment and stuff and how he had to survive all these years and stuff.
That's my headcanon for it, at least. But watching them try to reconnect and him fighting through the confusion and the disgust at himself and the situation and his like his obviously complex feelings with Victor and what Victor's doing, the kind of man Victor has become. Like I I think he's been an A-list character so far. He's not done anything bad, and
Okay.
he's helped Victor. Like he's there for him. He's not been like Jim.
I'm saving Jim for last though,
Oh
so
yeah, yeah. And
he gonna be a tough one.
he's not a hard nut to crack like Boyd is.
True.
Like it takes
Okay.
him a bit. It takes him a bit to open up, but he is actively trying every time to the point where it's almost painful during those scenes to like watch him be in the door jam or like 5 feet away when Victor's off measuring trees or on the seesaw or whatever. Like it's good. It's A-list acting right there.
I mean, that's a fair point,
I
I
think.
think.
Okay, so I'm gonna respectfully disagree.
That's fair.
I felt like his interactions with Victor, while genuine and needed, that time could have been better spent on like that first hug. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not crying. I'm not gonna lie. Teared up, cried.
Yeah,
Teared
oh
up,
yeah, absolutely.
eyes welled. I get it. That first song, I don't just something about it. It got me. But then after that, I just felt like he was just around. And then when he
Yeah.
wasn't just around, he was just drinking. I do feel
Yeah.
his only shining moment for me that wouldn't put him on C and would put him on B would be
Jade.
not Jade. His conversation with Jim.
Oh,
His
yeah.
Oh yeah,
conversation with
sorry,
Jim
Jim.
and telling
Yes.
Jim to shut the fuck up and listen to your wife, because why the fuck are you not listening to someone you've been with for 17 years in the first place? If you've been with someone for so long, they tell you they see a green spotted monster, they did. Like, and he questioned her. We're not on Jim. We're not on Jim. But so I do appreciate his conversation with Jim and setting Jim straight, but I do not I feel like it was wasted. Like, I feel like you brought Victor's dad all the way there. You literally wrote all of this fucking shit about reincarnation and all and Victor's dad, for him to come back and tell him to listen to his wife after 3 seasons, no, it upset me because his character could have been almost anyone else or a slew of different other characters. Because while I am glad that Victor got that closure and got his father back and stuff like that, like we could have got 3-4 new characters. So he's B for me.
I think B is fair.
He's B for me for the his interactions with Victor, his setting of Jim straight, but I feel like the whole you show up with my son's lunchbox, I'm listening to what you have to say.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Yeah.
You show up and my son's been missing for 50 plus whatever years. I'm listening to what you have to say. I'm not calling no cops. I mean, I'm gonna be very, very wary, but I'm not. I'm listening to what you have to say. Explain, then explain it to me again. Because at some point in time, if she explained it, they would have got to that conclusion with the trees and all that other stuff way earlier without him sitting there just, where's my, you're lying, blah, 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 blah. No, if you had just let her talk and she had said any of those things that would have reminded you of your wife, y'all would have already been in that tree.
Nah,
but
you're right.
So that pulls him, that pulls him down from A. I don't think he's C. I think he did serve a purpose, and he may still. I also feel like they don't let people have people for long. I'm just gonna put that out there too. So for me, he's a B. So I think Lucy's B. Penguin, what do you feel about him?
I'm really tempted to put him in C. If it wasn't for him, I guess being married to the original, person who went to the place or whatever it's called, then
Miranda,
he wouldn't matter because he was the wife or he was the husband of the lady who, this whole thing started with, and she's not even in the story, but he should be Victor's dad instead of that. And he didn't provide anything as far as character development for Victor because dad showed up, Victor saw him and had 30 seconds, and then Victor was Victor, and there has been
he went right back to caves.
There has been nothing that has changed in character development for him since dad showed up. So as far as I'm concerned, he just happened to be in the right place at the right time. So
like they could have killed him in the wreck, to be fair.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That would have been rough though. That would have been rough.
But she wouldn't have made it back without him, so he has to be in the B category because if she wouldn't have made it back, then the rest of the story wouldn't have happened.
We wouldn't be where we are currently.
Yeah, so
I'll keep him at a solid B. Let's do Acosta.
D. Immediately D.
I'm trying to remember who that was. Oh,
she's the cop, the rookie cop.
Yeah,
I don't like her character. I don't feel that one of the EMTs could have survived. Like there's no point in having her except to just irritate the fuck out of people.
I feel like her being in it was not only not necessary from her standpoint, but from the rest of the people's standpoint. Like all she brought was just frustration for me because she was just shooting blankly, whatever. She's a cop, she's shooting things. But then that was the catalyst for everybody else to hate her because she shot somebody. But they're forgiving everybody else for their accidents, but they're not forgiving her for her accidental shooting. But also she's a bitch and she's, it didn't work for me. Her character did not work for me at all. Could have done without it and would not be missing anything from the storyline.
I got past the shooting because that could have been me. I could have oops, I panicked. Oh well, it could have been anyone. It could have been anyone standing at that window. I honestly, people shooting, I wouldn't have been looking out the window anyway, but that's just me. But I got past her shooting, but from the moment she walked into the house after that, she made it worse for me. Like you said, she was a bitch to everyone, and I don't have any issue with cops. I'm not gonna, I'm not of any whatever blah blah. It's whoever the particular person fucking up. That's who the blame should be on. I agree. I would not agree. I agree with myself, but when it came to her particularly, she was that cop that they portray as shut the fuck up and listen to me. I'm a cop. I should be in charge of it. And she literally, when she walked into a room, she acted like she should be the one in charge of everything, questioning every single thing, getting in Boyd's face. I totally respect that no one has guns but Boyd. I totally respect the Colony House has guns locked into a thing. Not everyone's walking around with guns, so I get why they took fucking Randall's gun. So her thinking, "Oh, I'm a cop. I need to have." Fuck you. You're not new here. This is not your precinct, ma'am.
Out of your jurisdiction.
Yeah,
Get the
literally.
fuck out of here.
But she walking out of cells like she John Wick. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, no, like I get her the fuck out of here. I don't.
Yeah.
No, I have nothing. There's nothing positive that I could say about her.
Same.
Just trash all the way around.
So what we doing D?
D
Well,
I'm
for
doing.
me.
So I'm kind of conflicted on this because
Oh,
I
Lord.
agree I agree she's a bad character. Okay, so let me separate this purely from a physical standpoint. The woman is fine.
Okay.
But
So so we subtract
that
a
means-
letter.
So no, absolutely not. But that being said, I feel like once again this is she's a victim of the poor writing here, because it felt like they didn't know what the fuck to do with her.
But we're basing everybody else's ratings on the same writing. Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
They could have done a whole lot more for her. She could have been like gruff in the beginning, like everyone mostly is, and then warmed up. She could have approached Boyd in a completely different way than she did. Like,
yeah, she
literally questioned everyone behind everyone's back. Like they wrote her for her to be
annoying.
Before you give your rating, Sketch or Wonder, sorry. Before you give your rating, let me ask you this question: what did she contribute for you?
I'm about to get into that. So, like I said, I think she's a victim of the writing. It feels like they didn't know what to do with her, and her whole storyline is literally just a scapegoat. Because all of us are adults, so we know about modern politics and stuff like that, and how people, especially nowadays, a lot of people view cops and things like that. And I feel like it was just very lazy of them to just do that, because we had just seen Nikki earlier that day talking to Fatima and shit like that. It felt set up. Like obviously everything is a setup in the.
I did say that. Oh shit,
like,
this girl's talking.
Yeah, like it's like watching a Godzilla movie and seeing the zipper on the fucking suit. Like, I saw what you did. I am actively seeing you writing this chick as being so incredibly confrontational, but yet also wanting to help. You're wanting me to feel bad for her, but also wanting me to hate her at the same time. And it's so jarring. That's why I feel nobody likes her character, because she's put in these situations and she's such a dickhead, such a bitch. But at the same time, the story wants you to feel bad for her these times. Like, no. Like, you have given me nothing. Stop trying to force that on me. And the scene with fucking with Boyd in the post office. Someone please explain that to me.
That's the jail.
Oh yeah, the jail. Yeah. Someone please explain to me how that ended with her walking away with her gun.
Even though it had no bullets, but no.
Yeah. But like how me and Saint had we had a conversation about it on air, but we also had a long conversation about it. Like I paused the fucking thing. I was like, what is this? Nobody
Boyd being Boyd.
not. I can't even call Boyd on this one because he'd have swung. If he'd have been in his right mind, he'd have probably swung on Kenny when Kenny put the fucking gun to his head, or he'd at least said something. But she straight up threatened him. Like, and once again, this is somebody he doesn't know who has a fucking or who had a firearm and is a loose fucking cannon, just killed somebody, and she comes into the fucking jail and threatens him verbally, and then physically steps to him, like not even 2 seconds later.
I feel like kind of at that point, I think Boyd was just over a lot of stuff. And
That's
so he
why
was
he
just
gave her
like,
the milk.
this is not something I want to fucking have to deal with. So just take your fucking gun. You're not getting any
And,
bullets.
and,
I
And you fuck out of my
disagree with that.
face.
and you've also not said anything to move her from D yet.
I'm waiting for it.
I want you to put her under the bar.
I mean, we can't. Because
Oh,
if that
so
was the
she's on,
case, Dale
on
and
the.
Kevin should
Okay.
be under there with her. But
Like,
yeah.
she has less than no. Like, she is actively the worst part of this fucking thing. Like,
I'll put her
I-
there.
Currently,
so
yeah.
everyone
Only
knows.
because the other two are still
yeah, like I
after
like
her.
her less than I like Jim and Randall.
Oh, speaking of, that's who's next. I recently had the pleasure of seeing Randall's actor in another show,
Uh-oh.
Reacher,
Yeah,
and the same character, exact
the
same.
same exact dude. Just younger.
Typecast, lovely.
And so, like, I understood Randall's initial hostility when he first got there. I even understood and this is why I got Julie being upset, but I also got Trudy taking that shirt because it's Calling House. That someone should have explained to Julie that we share everything here. If you
Yep.
didn't want it, you needed to hide it. So I feel like either the rules weren't explained to Randall and he ignored the rules. So I feel like everything that happened up until him going to that bus needed to happen. That's what happens with those people, and I feel like they handled it correctly and they got him there. But after that, he just was in everybody's face. He wants to, prior to that, he tried to get outside, that first night, bucking at everyone. So I will say that he did start to help Boyd and was up front with Boyd and communicated with Boyd about what he saw and how he felt and all that stuff that was happening or whatever, and that he agreed to help him with whatever. But I still can't find anything he's done. And he was even nice to Julie, and that didn't change my opinion of him. It's just he's just nice to some people. So he's a D for me.
No, that's fair.
I can vibe with that. He's too much of a loose cannon, and I feel like he
did
he still has too. Yeah, he has the potential still to become a problem in a big way. So no, unless there's some serious growth, no.
Yeah, he's got to get better in season 3 or season 4. Else, yeah.
I feel like if this was a real scenario in reality, he wouldn't have lived as long as he had. He'd gotten himself killed.
They would have let him go outside.
Whether the villagers killed him or the things killed him or he killed himself on accident doing some dumb shit, he wouldn't have lasted.
Nope.
So I think we all solidly agree he's a D for dickhead, D bag.
Yep.
Yeah. Douche canoe.
Yeah.
All of them, motherfuckers. All right. So we'll get in the more serious. Let's start with Sarah.
Okay. So I like Sarah a lot. I think, however, and I know that she probably felt scared and couldn't tell people, but she should have said something because once again, this is the whole goes back to the communication thing. Like she had these good relationships with these people. She should have felt that she could trust them enough to come to them with what was going on before anything bad happened.
I mean, there's so much
Yeah.
weird shit already happening. Like, what's one more weird thing?
I agree.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, and I get that it was a plot device, so she couldn't tell them, because if she told them, then she wouldn't have killed the dude that was, there for 5 minutes, and other things. But I think they could have handled that a different way.
But
It
did
could
she
have
have to
still
kill him for
progressed.
the story to play out the way it did? I don't think she did.
No, I don't think
I
she
don't like
did.
her. I don't
Who
like
the
her. I don't like her
the
character.
Nathaniel?
No,
she
when she killed the dude from the
Toby.
car.
Oh,
Yeah, Toby.
n-
She
well,
she killed him and
that's
then
it.
said that they made her. And she said that they made her. They told her to make it look like they did it. And then she left the door open.
And
I
that's
felt like
when
before any of that happened, she should have
Mr.
been like, "Let me at least tell Nathan first before I do this."
Yeah, it's completely necessary that she did that because it sent Kenny on the spiral.
Can I?
And the only reason I like her, I'll say, is because of what she did to Elgin.
Man,
She
look,
did to what?
What she
what she
did to
did?
Elgin to get the info out.
fuck his ass.
Because I think
Fuck
at that
Kyle.
point she felt
Ugh.
like she was already too far gone, and her kind of really accepting the fact that, like, she didn't want to be there, she didn't want redemption, she wasn't trying to have people forgive her. I liked that about her. But yeah,
I feel like that whole scene was a little bit much because nothing ended up coming of that anyway. So that poor kid who went through exactly what she went through was
No,
killed for it.
they got the location of where she was.
And what were they able to
well,
do?
Elgin's not dead though. I don't think.
No, he was
Can you
hurt
die
though.
from
He's
that?
fucked up.
I saw
No,
memes
he-
with him at an eye patch.
Oh Lord.
Well,
I mean,
I don't
and
know.
Elgin, I think she
Well,
realized that she had to be the one. She didn't want Boyd to have to, like, shoulder the burden. Like,
and
far
nobody
be it
else
from
was
me to
going
be
to
like,
do it.
torture is okay, but he really felt like, hey, like, I can't tell you guys where she is, what's going on, but she probably would have died. They probably would have eaten her once she gave birth. So it was
Maybe.
necessary to get that information. It just sucks that it had to go that far. But like I said, I appreciate the fact that Sarah was like, hey, like, I already have
The stigma.
the stigma. So, like, I'm not going to let Boyd have to go that far. I'm just going to take on that burden because that's what I should do. I mean, don't get me wrong, it doesn't make her redeemable for the things that she did, but I think that it was an important kind of way to have her character be.
I'm feeling I mean, obviously she killed people, murdered people. Obviously, murdered is the correct word. She
Yeah,
murdered
murdered.
people, and and obviously she had a good reason and stuff like that. Communication is thing. I feel like she did. She obviously, yeah, like you said, she chose to be the one to do it, and she tried her best to, like, be there for the town and be there and do things, and she wanted to go in the woods or whatever. But outside
She
of
saved
obviously,
Julie and Ethan
yeah,
because they were about to be out of there.
she's a C for me at least.
Yeah, I was going to say she probably falls in C for me.
Solid C.
I agree with that. I feel like her situation with the not telling nobody, I felt like that was only there because it was an early plot point
Yeah.
in the story. 'Cause that's the only way this pans out the way it did. If this had happened in the second season, she'd have told somebody.
Yeah, like what's his name with the
She would have
leeches
had to.
or cicadas under his skin.
Yeah. Like it just I feel like a lot of these problems have to deal with the weird writing.
I feel like she got persecuted though unfairly in comparison because Fatima killed Tilly,
But they still
and
don't know that, I don't think, except for, of course,
Nah.
Boyd and
yeah, but
Elgin.
the people who do know, they're not,
Oh,
they're
no,
not
of
even
course.
batting an eye.
Of course not.
But
Well, that's
she's,
because
this
Fatima was
terrible murderer, and
Fatima was like universally loved though, wasn't she?
Yeah.
yeah.
She was the golden girl.
Yeah.
But the
So-
baby
Sarah-
did it. It wasn't her.
Well,
I don't know.
they don't know that, and even if they did, like, I don't think they'd give her any leeway. But like Sarah was
Pregnancy
just that
hormones are
weird
a
kid.
bitch, man.
But
Yeah.
I'll leave off Sarah with I think that she was bland. Just overall personality bland.
For me personally, I give her a B minus. Just got I really did think her character got a little bit of a shaft. Other than like that, the weirdness of not telling nobody and shit like that. Her story played out rather well. Like I'm just I'm wondering how they're gonna treat Fatima when the shit comes out,
Yeah.
because that's really gonna decide whether I fuck um with Sarah's character, how she treats Fatima and how Fatima's gonna treat her. But yeah, for now, yeah, I agree. Solid C.
Elgin.
Oh,
Mm,
D tier.
he's a between a B and C for me. Um, I think he was a nice addition. Obviously, the additional storytelling. I don't know if I like the direction that they took it with the whole kimono woman and him, kidnapping Fatima and being weird and not telling anybody anything. But at the same time, I know that, like Sarah mentioned, that place seeks out kind, good hearted people to use them. So if it was going to be anybody, then I guess he would be the best option for that.
Yeah, he'd be a B for me. He played his role well. He kind of went along with the whatever the hell their version of a flow is. Didn't tell anyone, which was weird, but also he wasn't telling anybody about his visions in the beginning either. So that might just be his personality trait type of thing. So I'll give him a B.
I'm gonna tell y'all right now, man. Y'all seeing shit? Please tell me. I want to know. I want to know. Y'all seeing shit? So, like, you don't have to go
Like,
through this
say
alone,
something.
right?
Open your mouth.
Yeah,
Um,
I
I
I can't give him that, because when he's introduced, like it's obvious when he's introduced that he's gonna be a vehicle for something because he's the first one to see something.
And then he's like, no, 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 no.
Yeah, and then just the fact that he's so odd and weird with no like explanation. Like at least with Tilly, they kind of get to the point like, okay, she's kind of go with the flow, kind of hippy dippy, and like they give us like the good and the bad of her, like her disposition. Like she's got this deep stuff in the past, this deep hurtful thing or whatever, but she's also making the best of it. We don't really get that with Elgin. We get like him being depressed in a couple scenes, him having the dreams and like working through that off screen. And then all of a sudden the kimono lady shows up. That's jarring as fuck because she obviously doesn't look like anything else in the fucking
Right. It
in the
looks so
script.
out of place.
And every time, like I like the fact that the story put him and Julie together. But once again, I hate the writing for him because there's no explanation for why the fuck he acts the way he does.
I think he's just homeschooled.
He's a
And
chill guy. He's just a chill guy.
he is. But like there's no, without an explanation, there's no growth. So there's nowhere for his character to go.
Yeah,
I mean, I
agree
don't
with
even know
that.
what's going to happen in season 4 because this
I,
man
I
is
hope
going to be severely fucking traumatized all the
I
way
hope
around.
I hope they kill him, not for his sake, but just so I don't have to worry about it anymore. Like I'm just kind of like he served his purpose now. Like get rid of the motherfucker.
They could just do an entire season 4 without him in it, and I don't think we'd notice.
Yeah, I'm giving him the D.
I,
Pause. I'm putting him in D tier.
hey, Lord, have mercy. I know we adults, but it's the way that flows. Yeah. So I mean,
You know what? I'm gonna change my ranking to C because I would rank
I
him
think
with
I do
Sarah.
think
Yeah,
solid,
see.
solid C. I
Yeah,
feel
him
like
and Sarah on the same wavelength.
What are
they could have did
y'all
a
crazy, man?
they could have did a lot more communicating, in my opinion. They could have made sure that um, someone knew what was going on and someone knew what was happening to them. Because like again, now if I'm seeing some shit, I'm gonna let somebody know. And so I feel like trusting, a voice you ain't never heard in your life with,
Yeah.
someone you can see, and like, do you hear this? Do you see this person? Look at this picture. Do you see? Like, you sending me on a picture treasure hunt? I'm bringing someone with me.
Right.
Yeah. What bothers
So,
me is that the end part of his shit was like, it's just like an angel, just like in the Bible. What? The only connection I can make to that is when
it's like,
Tilly was reading out of the Bible when they did that whole kumbaya scene when Fatima came down the stairs. Which once again, Lucy, help me out. They gotta stop fucking with Chekhov. They gotta stop ringing this motherfucker's bell because they
The
who?
don't.
what?
The Chekhov, the fucking bell. It's Chekhov's gun.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I call it Chekhov's bell because they don't know how to stop fucking ringing. They leave breadcrumbs and immediately throw the fucking meat at you. Like, yo, chill out. We're not gonna cook this. We're not gonna bake it in the oven. We're not gonna let this, play out.
Just gotta bite right into it.
And it's always bad. I'm not mad that you're giving me oatmeal raisin cookies. I'm mad because they're disgusting.
I like
Like,
oatmeal raisin.
Yeah, oatmeal
like
raisin cookies
same.
are lit, but yeah, point taken.
I had one the other day. That shit was fucking banging.
I found my
Uh,
people.
all right. Let's do Father Kotri.
Father Kotri is a solid B for me.
A B?
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Ah,
Uh,
I disagree with that. Well,
higher or lower?
he's not a B. He's not a lower. Definitely lower.
Okay. Go
Um,
ahead. Yeah, explain.
I just so once again, I know him and Boyd kind of had this like weird relationship. One moment, they're semi friends, and then the next, they're kind of just at each other's throat because they feel that things should be handled differently in a lot of ways. Um, him with the whole Sarah thing and then the obsession, and I mean, and them just turning him like, why kill him off if you're just gonna have him talk to Boyd every fucking episode? Like,
Yeah.
I was glad he was dead, and then here he comes again. And I mean, I get that he's
wow.
it could have been Abby. If he's gonna hallucinate, why would he, I don't know. Like, he could have done it could have been anybody else. I just
I don't know. I feel like if they'd have used Abby, it'd have cheapened the throw out for when the town was fucking with them.
I mean,
And
maybe so.
it fits with Father Kacha because Father Kacha was always on his ass anyway.
Yeah, yeah, and that was the thing I was gonna say is I get why they did it, but it was annoying to me.
I think
Absolutely.
I think for him not to be involved, but so involved was annoying. Like you said, I think his arc with finding out with Sarah was cool. That was dope, and I love that fact. And if I had heard something or seen some shit like that, I was like, I believe, I get it. Whatever she's saying, I believe it. But after that, he's a C for me. What's everyone else saying?
Yeah, C for me for sure.
C. Yeah, same.
Word. I defer to your judgment. See, that's fair.
Elgin.
Now Ellis, Golden
Oh,
Boy.
Elgin.
Ellis. Golden Boy. No,
So there's an interesting thing in the credits, with the picture of it's pretty much, I guess, like a nod to Adam and Eve, and I assume, of course, that it's Ellis
Oh,
and
talk
Fatima.
about talk about the picture in his room.
No, when the credits are rolling, then it's scrolling across. There's like a hand stretched out with blood on the fingertips, and the thing that you see next is a couple or two people standing together. They're naked, and one is a black male, and then like skinned woman. And
Hmm.
you can, what I assumed or thought it was alluding to was Ellis and Fatima, because they really are this like they're the golden couple of this place. No
Yeah,
matter what's going on, like they are the light, they are the happiness, they are the joy, they're easygoing, they make everybody feel good. So just having them, I like Ellis's character. He's a solid B for me.
I was I was
Um,
I was gonna say, not to interrupt, but
no, you're fine.
keeping them together because they love each other. That I feel like
No.
B. I was gonna put them both at B
Yeah,
because we can't really talk about Ellis without talking about Fatima.
yeah.
Fatima had her moments. Fatima was very, when Julie got there, it was great. But when it came to like the scene where
Season
she's banging
3,
on the window and knocking on the door and telling them to go fuck themselves, that was like a little much. That didn't seem like Fatima to me. She didn't seem like someone can be broken that easily. And then the pregnancy thing, she should have told somebody a long time ago
Yeah.
that she was eating dirt and shit. Oh,
I
and
mean,
rotten food.
yeah. That
Ellis, of
way they
all
could have
people,
just put
should have
it.
known. Ellis should
They
have known.
they could have made sure that she had it, and she wouldn't have felt like she needed to go hide and scarf down rotten crops and stuff. Yeah, like honestly, the whole
Did she eat
pregnancy arc
Nikki
thing
too?
for her, huh?
Did she eat some of Nikki too, or she just
Yeah, she was
Yeah. She all that.
enjoying the blood,
okay?
and then guzzled Elgin's as well. So
I still think that whole situation was weird. Like, there ain't no way y'all sit here and believe that baby is normal. She eating rotten fucking food.
now, don't get me wrong. Like Tilly said, it's a real thing,
Oh,
right?
that
You
I
know, I mean,
understand, but
Pika is fine. Yeah, Pika's a real thing, but yeah, she should have said something to somebody.
there's what I'm saying is there was way too much weird shit going on, and the way the crop spoiled,
Yeah,
they weren't just regular rotted. Like they pulled
yeah.
them up, and they had just planted the motherfuckers. Like there's some obvious higgity biggity going on with that shit. And now you are craving this shit. You are feeding this to your child. If there's not something wrong with it, there's going to be something wrong with it. Like that's
Like you know where you live.
yeah. Like there's
All this
there's
shit
no
happens for a reason.
there's nowhere. I was actually happy that Ellis was worried, but I was mad because he was worried about this the wrong fucking thing, dude. Like when they had, I just knew
Yeah,
when
they're
they
trying to
showed.
get a painkillers and shit like that, and stuff
Yeah,
like that. That don't
it was
matter.
like when I knew when they showed the Ultron that bitch is gonna be a monster or something. And I was completely left field that the baby didn't show up. Like I just did not. I was spun for that. But yeah,
um,
I think it would have been too easy to show it being like a monster baby.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think I like it not being able to be seen on ultrasound because it is a technically a supernatural being.
entity.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I do
so
Yeah,
like I do like how that whole thing played out though to give us the origin behind the creatures
Yeah.
and
the
how
the
yeah.
they
immortalities. So you got to
yeah
think
Yeah,
that
because
like,
they are legitimately immortal. Because even if you kill
they'll
them,
just
they're
be
gonna come back
reborn.
some way. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
also
whoa,
shows
can we imagine that
episode of
the
Cartoon.
the skeleton in that room was the previous one that maybe got rebirthed and just died in
Maybe.
there? Okay.
But
Didn't Jade
it
see
looked
him
more like
squish?
a well, no. So the skeleton that was in the birthing suite um looked like a man, if I remember correctly. So I don't think
I'll
that
have to go back.
was a
No,
previous.
I'll go back
Jade. I
and
remember
look.
Jade hallucinating when early on he saw he went down to the
Yeah,
root cellar and he saw the dude that screamed at him. He was crushed by the boulder sitting down.
Yeah, I
yeah, but he was
remember
still really fleshy.
Yeah.
that.
What
Yeah, tracksuit on too, I think.
So I don't
Anyway.
think it's the same as the skeleton that was in like the birthing
okay.
room that
I
Elgin
will.
saw.
I promise I'll get back to all of you because now it's gonna bother me if I know. But let's see. I already know where this next one's going to go, but I'm just gonna ask
S.
Tintin.
Who is it?
Tension.
Oh, tension. Yeah, yes.
Immediately
I
yes.
ain't gonna lie. I almost put her there at the beginning of our, our standard. So, but I
You
got
wouldn't have been wrong.
nothing but good things to say about this woman. One of the top TV deaths I was upset about.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Top
Like,
TV moms too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
yeah, she was cool. I'm not gonna lie. When Kenny told Boy what she was saying the whole time.
Oh yeah, that roughed me up. Yeah.
Um, she's. There's not much we can.
Yeah,
in
just
peace.
solid all around.
Christy
I'm gonna give her a solid B.
B. I want to
I thought
outside.
he said give her a solid D because that's what I was thinking.
No,
I
Wouldn't rate her
I-
a D, but I'd give her a D.
There you go.
oddly enough, not a fan of Christy.
Oh, she's so pretty, minus the
She's
mom.
so cute. She's so cute.
I would give my. I think outside of her girlfriend, I think she's an A character.
Yeah.
I vote A also.
Yeah, but
Necessary.
like without Mariel, she's an A.
Yeah.
Definitely, I will say that
Drop
I
the
liked
dead
her more
weight.
before Marielle showed up. So yeah, I'll agree with that.
I liked her before that haircut too.
Her little mullet.
Yeah, but
I
you
mean,
know,
but-
even with the mullet, if anybody has to have a mullet, it has to be her because no one else can pull it off.
I
I
want
don't
to
even
go.
think she's pulling off. To be honest with you, but I'm gonna let you
I
have that.
mean, she I'll be respectful. Let's go and get this one out of the way. Julie, for me, C.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't get me
Started off
wrong. Now
strong.
in the third season, starting towards the end, I
Okay,
think
yes.
she started to grow on me, but not in a way that like I like her character. But I feel like obviously they've made it very clear that she is going to be very important going forward.
Yeah.
So I am curious to see because it went from the scene in the cafe with her and Ethan, and maybe I missed something else to the part in the woods with her hair chopped off. So like
Yeah,
I need to
him telling
see
her she can't change the story.
exactly, and then all of a sudden you don't see her again until the very end where she's running, and then is like I've got to change the story, whatever. So I'm curious. But overall she's an annoying fucking teenager. And I've got enough of that going on.
So yeah,
C.
Julie. Yeah, Julie the C. I was very, very perturbed with her character. I was perturbed with her parents
Ugh.
because there's no fucking way I'm pulling up in a whatever the town is called. Y'all tell me about we just survived the night of monsters, and then you telling me that my daughter get to choose to go to Colony House. No, she don't.
No, she does not.
No, you don't. Like even push that fact that families can be separated like that, and then never revisit it again. All those people that showed up on that bus, where were they ceremony? Where did they choose? They
I mean,
all end up in Colony House, and they got random houses. What
because
like
they don't have enough houses in town, so where else are they supposed to go?
So it just upset me because they did all that for her to end up right where she was supposed to be anyway.
Yeah,
and that's at home. So yeah, for me, she's C. She was much better at the end. I love the fact that she talked to her mom and made her mom talk to her. I love the fact that she was open with Ethan. And
I love the fact that she called Jim and told him to get his shit together.
So
I like that message. I don't think it should have come from her though.
Yeah. Agreed.
I mean, I think it was fair only because she had already like been the whole like parentification of her with Thomas dying.
Yeah.
She was the one that had to care for Ethan. She was the one that had to make sure that he was okay, even though she, A, is a child, and B, was having to navigate grief and stuff on her own by herself. So I get the anger and I get where that came from, because she was like, I don't want to have to do this again. I shouldn't have to do this again. And she's right.
I agree. 100%. She's absolutely right to feel that way. Her feelings are valid, and but she still ain't fucking leaving my fucking side. Her ass coming to the damn town with me. Like, you can feel bad in your room.
Yeah,
that's my thing. Like she
you put in a room with a couple. It was just all that. That was just weird.
Which speaking of the crazy shit, did anybody notice the like couple that was like going at it randomly? I'm like, what was this? While like little kids in the next room over, like, and then people sleeping on
when the
Yeah.
Matthews with the Stevens or whatever.
Yes,
Matthews
when the Matthews first got to Connie House, they were panning
Yes,
through,
sir.
you know, people sleeping.
well,
Then
And that
we
and
got
that
the
that chick
Alabaster
was
Dragon situation going on, and then it
man.
goes over to them, and then that's when I think Tabitha had a nightmare or something and woke up. But I'm like, I don't even know what the point of that was.
I think it was to establish the shot that like they're very free because they
Oh
immediately
yeah,
show people smoking weed, people fucking, and people like trading clothes and shit.
Even
yeah,
Kenny said, "Y'all stop with the orgies up
Yeah,
there or whatever."
yeah.
Speaking of, we can go ahead and go with him.
Uh,
I'm gonna let y'all.
Kenny,
I'm gonna let y'all handle that.
Okay,
Kenny
Y'all
annoys
go
me.
first.
Kenny,
Um, I
go ahead.
don't. I think they started to ruin his character in 3, albeit understandable. You know, his first of all having to deal with a parent with dementia is hard enough, especially when your other parent is not really accepting of what's going on. Um, you know, coming to this place now, y'all almost dying because your dad opened the door and it was almost a bad situation. So now he's got to live, you know, in the clinic underground
Yeah,
basically for his own protection. You know, you go see him, he's got good days and bad days. So that alone is a big, huge emotional, mental toll. You know, your mom not really it not clicking, oh, he'll get better, then he can come home. Another thing because you're just like, come on, like you got to understand what's going on. Being the deputy, having a crush on Christy, you know, he's got a lot going on. But at the same time, like I said, starting in season 3, which right after his mom dying, so he's gonna be angry. He's gonna be lashing out, projecting on other people. But I don't know. It's something about him that bothers me, and I can't quite put my finger on what it is. But he's like a C for me.
I'll give Kenny a B. I feel like he added a lot to the overall storyline. I loved his relationship with his mom. I loved how Boyd took him under his wing. I loved how he kind of like interacted with each person in their own unique way, and for me that added a lot to it. I didn't love him necessarily, his character as a standalone character, but I'll give him a B, solid B,
Yeah, I think
because
that's
of
fair for the
the
interaction.
overall
Yeah, from your
impact.
point.
With everyone but Sarah, because he won't interacting with her. He was screaming
which
at
was
her.
which was fair. I
Yeah.
I don't really fuck with Kenny because he keeps flip flopping. Besides the fact that he's obviously like too emotional most of the time whenever like some shit is going on. Like, brother, you are worried about the wrong fucking thing. Like we are trying to get home and you're worried like when they decided to examine the body that they had killed. It's like this thing is evil. You're bringing it to the shut the fuck up. We are trying to learn something here. Like all the other wild shit that we've done, like the risks that we've taken and shit like that, and you want to fucking pull right, like try and say something now? And the fact that during the
I would have
whole
been
time
I
they
would have been
were
skeptical in that moment too, though. You don't know what these
oh
things are capable of.
obviously, but at the same
I
time,
would have let it sit a little longer.
Give it
I
one
would
to
have I
one
would
to
have let it sit less, throw it on the
like
fire.
here's my
3 to
problem
5
with it, right?
business days.
So he doesn't believe Boyd when he talks about the worms, which it that bothered me because yeah, your dad had fucking dementia or whatever, but like y'all have seen crazy shit. Like, why are you not at least listening to him? But y'all
Well, he
write him off
took that
crazy, whatever.
stretch where he thought because he had Parkinson's that he had dementia. That was a
Yeah,
week.
yeah. Because him and Chrissy were talking about it right before the situation popped off. And when Boyd says he doesn't want to donate the blood because he's got the worms in there, Kenny pulls a fucking gun to the back of his head.
That was weird, out of place. I felt.
That exactly. That's kind of stuff I'm talking about. And now all of a sudden, and why like we get being cautious, but why are you so vehement as to not look at the body, brother? We get everybody's scared, but we need information.
In that moment, I felt like if you didn't want to look at the body, you didn't trust it, then you need to leave.
Then bye.
Exactly.
Go find
But
something else to do.
Well,
Exactly. And
I but
any other time, it's like he wants to be a force for good, but he is constantly hamstringing himself by his own morals. And it's all like juvenile shit. Like, brother, read the fucking room. Do you want to go home or not? Or do you want to go home or do you want to make a home here? Like, pick one.
I'm gonna go and sell it because I'm gonna give him this B. But I see your points and agree with your points on the fact that a lot of the stuff that he did, it just seemed very, very extreme for someone. Like, mind you, he's the one person in the entire show who's gone through like the most. I feel like back to back people dying. You got the girl one day telling you, got the night before holding pinkies and telling you that she want to go on vacation with you, and then her damn fiance showing up the next day. I don't even know how that. You know anybody ever went through that?
You find out in almost the same day that number one, she's lesbian. Number two, she's married.
Well, no, she was honest with him
And
about
she
that.
already told him about that.
Yes.
Did she?
But
Yeah,
no,
she told him about that when they were having
because,
the conversation when he was going through
That's
his little
right.
list of places.
and then
But
someone said something to him and he referenced it too.
Yeah.
But all he was going through didn't call for the pulling a gun on someone or the being in a situation.
Pushing Jade.
Oh, yeah, and why you push Jade?
Who was trying to help Chrissy.
Brother, that made no sense to me. That was them writing off of the established behavior of his character that they had already fucked up. There was no reason for that.
Who are we doing next?
Donna.
Donna's solid A tier for me.
She's S. I'll put her in S category.
Yes.
I wasn't sure about her at first, but she ended up having to be the house mom. She kept things in order. She established rules and boundaries. She prevented chaos from erupting at Colony House and maintained order there where no one else took charge or even assisted, really. Everybody else was kind of just like doing their own thing, but she was like the enforcer, but in a motherly type way. So,
and also seniority too, I think.
That too. Yeah. So I needed her, and so I would put her up there with the other S tiers.
My only problem is, especially in the beginning when nobody was explaining anything, she was the main proponent of that. Like, woman,
I don't know.
Explain to them every time somebody showed up.
She did with Tabitha, but I don't understand why she separated Tabitha and Julie when she talked to her. That was the first thing she was gonna do, but it's the way it was handled and it was broken up so many times because she just kept, don't worry about this, and it was just.
And my only thing is that I think because of how the graphic nature of the story and what she tells to people is maybe why, because Julie is a kid. She doesn't want to have to sit there and tell her that, oh, I watched them rip my sister's face off. I could still hear her screaming. I still hear her screaming pretty much every night. Like, that would be a lot. Yeah, exactly. I think that would be too much to do with a child in the room. Because at the end of the day, Julie's a teenager, but...
Exactly, but I wouldn't tell that in front of someone else's teenager.
Okay, hearing that,
just from a mom standpoint, no.
Yeah.
I'm not about. No.
Okay.
Not about to break your kid. Yeah, not.
So y'all both say S?
I think she's S. Yeah. And also because just what she provides, A, to the story, B, to the town.
She's very necessary to the story. This shit would fall apart. So
necessary. Yeah, because her and Boyd are the same side, or two sides of the same coin for me.
Yeah, I agree.
Or what I think they tried to have Father Kotri beat with Boyd is what Donna actually is.
Okay. Tabitha.
Tabitha.
I'd agree with that. I definitely agree with that.
You said fuck Tabitha.
I said fuck Tabitha.
Oh, fuck Tabitha.
She's annoying, and I get that she's important, but there's so many things. She's just Just
she's
annoying.
bonus
Bitching in
was
the car.
definitely good.
First introduction to Tabitha was her bitching about him not driving in the right direction over and over again. I'm like, bitch, what if you don't get in the driver's seat
Then
or shut the
drive.
fuck up? Yeah.
Right.
Like
Are we seeing a theme? Don't go anywhere with Tabitha. When she
Yeah.
starts bitching, bad shit starts happening. The whole situation, like them blaming her for like when they're in the diner, blaming her like you didn't do anything to come back. They were completely justified. They just didn't know why. Because that whole thing, I
Her in the
raised the saint.
caves.
No. I
I
raised
know.
the saint about the car accident.
Oh yeah, I listened.
Oh
I heard it
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my God.
Getting
All you
because you
had to do
get
was
all
just
this.
sit there.
You get to this point, and then all of a sudden now
Now you
it.
want to freak out. Now
No.
you want to lose your. Oh, you were so close.
But her with Victor in the caves. Be quiet. Well, what's happening? Where are we going? What are we doing? Like
Left.
shut up.
Left.
Yeah, she would have got left. Her constantly, you know, which I get questioning things because obviously you don't want to just be a sheep, but like you've already had things explained to you and you're still just not
Yeah.
going with it. Like you're not getting it. And it just annoys me so
She
much.
told you straight
Even
up that the things are down here. What else is there to know? Like, we should shut up now.
So
she's a D for me. I don't
D.
like her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wonder. Penguin.
Yeah. D, definitely.
I know she's important to the story, like one of the
I
most
reckon
Yeah,
important.
yeah, yeah.
But
necessary,
no, it does
yeah,
no.
no,
I wouldn't give her a
absolutely
D. I'll give her a C because of what she provides to the story. But
That's fair.
outside
I
of
don't
that,
respect her.
she was a
Okay.
fucking annoying ass character who wouldn't shut the fuck up.
I
And
feel better about her having this. Hold on.
I can't.
I am going to rate her a D. Go ahead and put her there.
see what you did there.
Yeah. Because it's my same gripe when we get to gym. Regardless of whatever they're going through, I feel like 17 years is a long time. And
Yeah.
that communication with them was crazy. And I know I'm not even the best communicator, but I tell you what, if someone tell me they seeing crazy shit, okay, I'm nervous and scared, but that's what they see. And so for them not to ever be on the same page, except for like the last like 3 or 4 episodes of the 3rd season, was crazy. And outside of her doing her own thing, she was annoying as fuck. So that we're gonna lead right into gym with that.
D.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to think if there's anything positive that came from him.
Not until the last couple episodes. He was just he in Jay's face. He roughed up. I was over him when he roughed up Victor, and I didn't know much about Victor then.
Yeah.
But the fact that he did that, I was like, "Whoa, dude! Come on!"
That you automatically think that if that man was any sort of predator, he would not be walking around town.
And then you got 50 adults around that ain't said a single bad thing about this man. Like he's been here the longest. Like, come on. So I was over him then, to be honest.
I'm gonna lump both of them in. I feel like the story gives both him and Tabitha way too much leeway because they are mother and father.
Yeah.
Because me and Sam talk about like they talk crazy to certain people, just like, first of all, what? Because the whole Jim Randall situation when he like to me that was a bad idea because I look at Jim and I look at Randall. Jim getting his ass beat the minute Randall doesn't believe in whatever the fuck Jim is saying.
Absolutely.
Why the fuck are you over there? That whole scene when he's got Donna tied up, that should have ended with Jim with a busted head at the very least.
In the real world, I feel like he already has someone tied up. Jim changed his mind. Jim's dead. Then Donna's dead.
Exactly.
Yep. That's exactly how that would have went.
Like he puts on. Forgive me for this. I love the fact that he plays this protective father, especially when it comes to like actually doing something. But half the time it just comes off as some dude just like posturing because, brother, you are chesting up to people who I know can whoop your ass. The next Victor almost upped it on him. And even without the gun, if Jade was any more masculine, he'd have gave fucking Jim his teeth. Like, what are we talking about? I'm pretty sure that, he's got one more good word to Donna before Donna pops his ass too. Which I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I would pay to see that shit. I would pay to see Donna put paws on anybody.
Maybe next season.
Yeah.
I fucking hope.
Just
But it just
So
all
stepping
of
the wrong way.
all of him is especially like second season on. All of him is jarring because it like
yeah, he's gonna stay down here.
yeah.
Where he belongs.
All right, this is Jade.
So Jade grew on me.
Same.
Yeah.
I think he probably has the best character development while still
Mhm.
staying true to who he is.
Agreed. 100% agreed.
So he's an S for me.
Same. He
Same.
started as a D, solid
Yeah.
D.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I
Okay,
could not
so-
fucking stand him, but he
Okay.
did what the other D tiers didn't do. He realized what the fuck was going on, realized that being like that isn't going to get you anywhere. It's definitely going to not help you survive or anybody else survive for that matter. And he kind of just like went inward and started looking, for focusing on bigger picture rather than the petty shit that all the other D tier people were focused on, I think. And he really contributed to the watchability of the show. What's he going to do in the next episode? What's he on to? How's he going to act or react to somebody else? I really, really like where he's at right now. So S for me.
My favorite thing is every time he's around Ethan and he says like fuck or shit and he's like, my bad. And then he just keeps talking because he's just like, I can't do shit about it. But
Yeah.
apologies. I thought that
love-
was a cute little thing that they put in there.
Yeah.
I love the fact that even though he's had a complete character arc and he has markedly improved, he's still basically the same person,
Yep.
just better. He
Yep.
has lost none of his stride. He has lost none of his quickness, none of his sass, anything. He's just literally a better version of him. And that is more than I can say for most of the characters here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he is absolutely, like just like you two, I started off hating him. I was like, oh my God, I cannot wait for him to die. And
Need him get the Toby treatment.
oh my God, he just blows
I
the
did
fuck
think
up.
Jay wasn't gonna last as long as he did.
Same.
The attitude that he had, because if you bust up if I'm traumatized and I lost somebody and I finally worked up the appetite to get some food and you bust up in there talking about this is a wild fucking trip and just
Yeah,
y'all
like,
actors.
Civilization.
I'm
Yeah.
stabbing you in this fork, man,
Oh,
because that's my
absolutely.
13th reason.
Yes, the crash.
Yeah, like they say, I'm crashing out.
Crashing out immediately.
So, but he did turn it around. I think he's obviously top S tier.
That scene with him and Jim in the bar.
Oh,
who gives a
we're
fuck?
done here. No,
Yep.
yeah, the fuck we are.
Yep.
The fuck we are.
No, that was the best thing. The fuck we are.
Yeah.
What
Slam.
got me was like, you think you're the smartest prick in the room? He's like, Jim, if it helps us get home, who gives a fuck? That to me was the best part of that scene because it's at the whole time he's just like, oh, he thinks he's so smart, you're gonna figure it out. So what are you doing? It was like, brother, he is trying. You're over here
He's doing more than you're doing.
talking shit and like not doing anything, just sitting here worrying. This man is out here doing thought exercises and shit. Like this man is doing fundamental shit I learned in art school. Like I love that motherfucker. S tier all the way.
The big B, the big Boyd.
I mean, I don't think any explanation is required. He goes in S.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because nobody else stepped up to do it.
I
Yeah.
think this man handled it the best he could with what
Hell
he
yeah.
had, and he dealt with it the best he could. And I think almost every decision he made was fair. I mean, towards the end, like Penguin said earlier, and we're really interested to see how Sarah is treated compared to everyone else killing. And Sarah done stabbed somebody's eye out, but Fatima killed Tilly, and how Boyd reacts to that because
and gave birth to that thing.
and gave birth to that thing. Because when they get back around town, you know, I mean, they ain't got Dale
They
to
gonna be
spread
like,
it
yeah.
around, but somebody else gonna. Bad gas travels fast, y'all.
I hated how the town persecuted him anytime they felt he made a wrong decision, but he said it best in one of the last episodes where I think, or maybe one of the ones where they were having like the town meeting when Fatima
he said
was
that
missing.
Elgin. That's what you're talking about. Yep.
He said that, you know, he has to make some difficult choices, and, you know, I don't remember how exactly he said it, but being put in his position, like, there's really no right choice. You just have to make the best choice you can. And instead of focusing on that, everybody's so focused on, oh, well, Boyd said this and Boyd said that, blah, blah, whatever. But his character really held its weight for me. If this show wouldn't exist without him.
Yeah, because he could have absolutely just fallen apart when Abby started murdering people and he had to kill her.
Yeah.
He could have been no more good after that.
That was one of the biggest twists in television I've seen in a while, because
I was not expecting that.
I thought she went crazy, but she killed like 6 people.
Yeah.
And for Ellis to be upset, that I get being upset, but at the same time he had to understand because he was almost next.
You were about to get removed.
Oh man,
that made me not like his character a little bit when
he treated Boyd after.
I think he felt guilty, honestly, because his mom died because of him. Because if his mom wasn't pointing a gun at him, I don't even know that Boyd would have shot her if she shot Donna. He don't know Donna, but that's their kid, so of course he's gonna have to make that decision.
And I honestly think she was probably like one more. I don't must like say this, but she was like one more body away for him to be like wound her.
Yeah.
But when she went after Ellis,
it had to be shoot. Yeah, I gotta take you down.
But yeah, S tier all the way. Last, I mean, not saving the best for last, but I like even numbers, and it was an odd number, so I added the boy in white.
I was wondering the whole time looking at that picture, like, who is that?
That's the one him on the merry-go-round waving, taunting.
He gets S tier because he pushed Tabitha out the window.
Yep.
You know what? Nah, you're right.
Okay.
He's an integral part of the story, the storyline.
Yeah. He helped and he did what I wanted to do. Yep.
All right.
No, he living my dream. He living my dream for real. That's what I'm saying. So yeah.
Oh man, we did it. And it's one of our longer episodes. Really cool. That's fucking awesome. We really appreciate Penguin, Lucy, y'all joining us. We did it. ST. This is our first
fantastic.
This is really fun.
This is my first time actually doing a tier, so
me too.
That was a lot of fun.
I figured it all out today. So now that I know, we might do some more. I like this thing. But
hey, you know what we gotta do now, Saint, right?
What's that?
We gotta do one for
Game of Thrones,
House of Dragons. Yeah.
Oh God.
Oh, I'm down. Yeah, y'all want to do that too? I'm down for that. Well, y'all back on. Again, everyone, appreciate y'all listening this long. Y'all broke it up. A not long episode, but video episode. So that those, I feel like those are more watchable. As always, appreciate your time. Please like, share, follow, subscribe, comment. If you liked or didn't like, please let us know. All our contact information in the link. Please check out.
We're fucking wrong. Let us know. Shit. We might not know shit. You might know some shit we don't know.
Yes.
Shut us on the comment section.
Hold on. How do I exit this? Oh, I'm over here. And also, make sure you go ahead and get
there you go.
Your warm-up merch.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. I'm the only one in the known universe with one of these. But please check out the links in the description of the episode, and you will also see all of his designs and stuff like that. So again, as always, appreciate you listening and your time. As always,
don't forget to have fun.
Peace. Y'all.